Good evening, all, and welcome to tonight's broadcast. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. The time has finally come for some Wildcats hockey, brought to you by Armored Roofing. With you, as always, I'm Alex Von Coydel, bringing you another chapter of this historic season tonight as your Wildcats host the last place Amarillo Bulls. Well, one part of their journey is complete. The Wildcats have officially clinched a berth in the 2016 Robertson Cup playoffs last Saturday night with the Corpus Christi Ice Rays losing 5-3 to these Amarillo Bulls. It is now mathematically impossible for the Cats to be eliminated from postseason qualification. With this milestone, the Wildcats have now qualified for the playoffs for 3 consecutive seasons, which is the only time in franchise history they've done that. However, they've still got a lot of work to do with these remaining 13 games. If they want to secure home ice advantage throughout the divisional rounds, they need to hang on to that top spot in the South Division, which they currently protect from the Lone Star Brahmas by a margin of a meager 5 points. Fortunately for the Cats, 9 of the final 13 games will be played right here at the KYC, where the Wildcats have been virtually invincible this season. They've won 7 in a row here and have not lost in this building since 2015. The Amarillo Bulls are in town for just the second time this season as they hope to spoil the Wildcats' home streak here tonight. Will they be able to disrupt the Cats' tempo and play spoiler here on $5 ticket night at the KYC? Or will the Wildcats continue their dominance right here within the confines of what is becoming quickly known as the K. Yeager Castle? We'll find out next. Wildcats Bulls coming your way. Well, the Wildcats starting lineup, brought to you by Pelican's Restaurant, has just now been introduced here by the public address announcer at the KYC, Charles Campbell. We shortly await the ceremonial puck drop, which will be prefaced by our country's national anthem, sung as always by John Wilson, otherwise known as Big John, who fittingly is here on the penultimate night of Cancer Awareness Month. Here. And what a job well done, as always, by Big John Wilson here. Of course, most of the Wildcats community fully aware by now he was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney cancer at the start of the season. Only fitting he would be singing the national anthem here on the first of 2 Cancer Awareness Nights to cap off Cancer Awareness Month here this February. And in support of that, the Wildcats will be sporting their Cancer Awareness jerseys presented by Whataburger for the 3rd of 4 nights here tonight. They will be auctioned off tomorrow night, and it will be a silent auction. The bidding will take place at the guest services table. A large percentage of the proceeds will go towards the American Cancer Society. Starting lineup for the Amarillo Bulls is as follows. Tyler Gernhofer will be flanked tonight by George Mika and Cole Norris, a new player to the Amarillo Bulls. And in goal tonight will be Brian Baker, who has not played a whole lot. He was just recently traded to Amarillo from the Kenai River Brown Bears. So a bit of a change in scenery for Brian Baker, who is in his final season in junior hockey. On defense for Amarillo tonight will be Matt Nels. On the right side, Jacob Houston on the left. The former USHLer gets the start as one of the rear guards for Matt Nicholson's Bulls. As for your Wichita Falls Wildcats, starting at center, Adam Goodsir, the recently committed young man to the University of Denver. He will be flanked by Austin Bolio on the left side, Andre Paisan on the right. The two defensemen for the Wildcats, haven't seen the two of them together very often this season. Michael Rounds and Jake Dalton, two of the smoothest skating defensemen on the Wildcats, arguably the two smoothest skating D-men will be paired up together tonight for John LaFontaine's Cats. Tending goal tonight, Julian Syme. He's really looking to find his mojo. The last time he started was that very disappointing defeat in Odessa against the Jackalopes. He's trying to put those bitterly painful memories behind him once and for all tonight. Bernard Altner is the referee. Michael Fasani and Trent Williams are the linesmen. The puck drops and this game is officially underway as the Amarillo Bulls early on dump the puck into Wichita Falls territory. Julian Syme with his first touch on the puck gets it around the boards, and Paisan clears out to center for Austin Bolio. Bolio down his off wing, right circle, fires a shot that's snagged by the glove of Brian Baker, and a scuffle and disagreement ensues shortly thereafter right in the blue paint. The net's already been dislodged once here. The first period of Wildcats hockey is brought to you by American Classifieds. And folks, as always, if you'd like a shout out at any point throughout this game, go ahead and send the Wildcats Twitter page a message. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and I'll be more than happy to give you a shout out before this game comes to an end. And quickly, it looks like Tyler Gernhofer is guilty of something because he's in the Amarillo penalty box. I believe they're saying he was solely responsible for that scuffle which ensued shortly after the glove save was made by Brian Baker. We're just 21 seconds into this game, and already the Wildcats go to work on the power play. Wildcats' man advantage has been lights out this season, 5th best in the North American Hockey League. It has taken a bit of a step down as it started. It was in the top 2 for virtually the first half of the season, so it has simmered down a bit, one could say, but it's still very, very lethal and very respected by opposing penalty kill units. A 22.1% conversion rate. Good steal by Goodsir. Tried to slip it across for Bolio. It was picked off and sent out to center. Bolio regains possession. He feeds Eric Yeager. Yeager will likely be manning one of the points on this man advantage as he spins with it. The Wildcats power play is brought to you by Jim Arnold Collision Repairs as the puck is wrapped back around the far half wall, and Jeff Baum, unable to keep it, will have to go back to play it in his own zone. Just a minute has gone by. We're scoreless here at the KYC as Yeager lays a pretty saucer pass ahead. It's Lazarus giving it to Albrecht, skating in and shooting one from a sharp angle. The net's been knocked loose again, and we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Offensive zone face-off won by the Cats as Rounds takes a shot, soaked up by Baker. Puck cleared out to Lazarus, left circle, played it to the goal line for Ben Lown. Had to spin with it. He had the pressure coming, so he gives it to Lazarus, left half boards. Back to Lown, goal line, side of the net play. Stuff attempt, went wide. I think Baker got a piece of it. Taken by Lown, given back to the left point. Now here's Michael Rounds. Stutter step, he fooled himself, it looked like. Singerhouse wraps him up and gets it out to center ice. Lown and his teammates convene there as he put it over the line for Lazarus, who has to skate after it. Dillinger's in front of the net. He sets up shop and goes after the puck. Cleared back out to the right point. Now it's Rounds again. Rounds for Lown. Lown down the wall. Good cross-ice pass. Albrecht the shot. Pad save Baker, and the puck is cleared. Wildcats have moved the puck well thus far on the power play. They've only got a quarter of a minute remaining on it as Nels holds it in. Left point, skates it down the wall, and Poikala will circle with it in his own end now. Alexei Poikala for Garrett Van Wy. Van Wy played it to himself, takes it wide, centers, and it went off an Amarillo defenseman's stick and off the pads of Baker. Out of the box now is Gernhofer, 5 skaters aside. Van Wy to the goal line. Burnett tried to return the pass for him between his stick and his skates. Now Russell right point, lays it around the end wall. Ryan Burnett's got it half boards, back to the point for Gilraith, who slapped it back in down there. Poikala Tried a backhand centering attempt intended for Ryan Burnett. Instead, he got Matt Nels. Kept by Gilraith at the point. His long shot missed the blocker of Baker. Went off the glass. Russell skates it in with time. He fires. It was blocked. That one stung the Amarillo captain, Joe DiBenedetto, who's back up on his skates. He appears to be okay. And the puck has gone out of play, so we get another whistle and a stoppage. Just 3 minutes have gone by in period one. We're still scoreless. All 6 shots have been taken by Wildcats players thus far. And off the face-off, won it for Amarillo, plays out to center, and now here's Santoro. Couldn't control the puck. Russell goes after it, takes a hit from Santoro off the body check, and now Litviak played it off a Bulls skate. It was Formans. Now Russell recovers in his own zone. Santoro puts on the pressure and checked his stick. Gilraith picks it up behind his own net and works it out. Noah Gilraith goes off the far side boards. Lazarus tried to return it for him. Intercepted in the neutral zone. Santoro overskated it, and a penalty perhaps, or a whistle, not sure what for. Possibly an illegal line change from the Wildcats. Looks like that will be the case, and Johnny Lazarus now skates to the Cats' sin bin. For what I believe to be a too many men on the ice penalty or something similar, the Wildcats will be shorthanded for the first time in this game. The Bulls with their first chance on the man advantage. Wildcats penalty kill is brought to you by Parkway Grill. Tyler Gernhofer to the goal line, and it's Mika there. He spins with it. Got it in deep for Cole Norris. Norris around the boards for Gernhofer. Back to the left point. Fromberger back to Gernhofer. Far half board, skates in. He can really take the shot. Watch out for him on the one-time drive. Goal line, side of the net shot, stopped by Syme. He's got it somewhere, and the referee lost sight of it, so he blows the whistle. That's the Amarillo Bulls' first shot on target. Syme was equal to the task. Bulls win the offensive zone faceoff. Fromberger's shot stung Van Wy. He is down. Fromberger again shot it off of his own man, and Cole Norris parked in front of the net, and the Wildcats are able to clear the puck down the length of the ice. Brian Baker has it, and he will leave it for Tyler Hall. Hall works his way out in front of his own goal. Takes it himself. Gains the blue line, lost a handle on the puck. Jake Dalton scoops it around the boards. Going to be bounced off the skate of Gernhofer. It's out to center. Could be a 2-on-0 here. Litviak with good sir. Litviak scores! Nikita Litviak with a short-handed goal. 1-0 Wildcats. That is Nikita Litviak's 14th goal of the season, his first shorthanded. And the Wildcats penalty kill just continues to improve. Houston played it off the pad of Syme from in behind the Wildcats net. Now it's taken there along the far half boards. It is Mikita Sheptitsky, the former Lone Star Brahma. Swept back around the boards, and it's held in Houston. Houston to Matt Nell's right point. Takes a shot blocked by Michael Rounds and fired down the ice. It ricocheted off the glass and all the way down. 20 seconds to go on the Parkway Grill penalty kill. Lazarus waiting to get out of the penalty box over there as Ferguson carries across the Wildcats line. Ferguson's onside, tries a toe drag move. He lost the puck in the traffic. Now Nels slapped it to Houston. Houston with some great poise along the blue line. He's got some patience back there. Nels tried to give it into the corner for Joey Molinaro, the leading scorer for the Amarillo Bulls. There's a lot of speculation as to whether Molinaro would be traded not long ago, as Nels' long shot was off target. And the Bulls were certainly sellers at the trade deadline because, well, the season virtually over for them. They're nearly eliminated here as Lown put it in front of the goal, spinning with it as Hall. He intercepted it as Russell has a blowout, but the Bulls were in the midst of a change and couldn't take advantage. Sarnowski steps past Lown. Sarnowski the shot, blocked by Nitchie, taken by Gilraith, given back to Lown. Lown with a good lead pass ahead for Albrecht. He's by himself, 1-on-3 through center, so he'll skate it back and wait for some help from his troops. Albrecht dumps it in, goes for it himself. Look at the wheels on him. Played it off an opposing stick. Poikala picks up the loose puck, jabs it into the corner for Ryan Burnett, tries to give it back to him. Muddling things up there is Charlie Singerhouse. And Burnett tried to give it back to Baum. It went between his skates, and the Wildcats reset now in their own end. 13:25 to go in period one. 1-0 the score, 7-1 the shots in favor of the Wildcats. And it's been all them to start this game. The lone goal of this contest has been a shorthanded one by Nikita Litviak. As I was saying about Joey Molinaro, the Bulls' leading scorer, he was among the top scorers in the North American Hockey League for a big chunk of the season early on. He's not quite in that category anymore, but he's still got some impressive numbers. 38 points through 43 games. He's been one of the few bright spots on an otherwise dismal season for the Amarillo Bulls. Anton Martinson, of course, has been another. The two of them, it was almost certain in the minds of many that they would be gone before the postseason, before the trade deadline, because the Bulls could have gotten something pretty sizable in return for either one of those guys, and out of respect for the players, the organization decided to keep them on board because they've done so much over the last few years for the Amarillo Bulls, and management decided it wouldn't be right to trade them away. Molinaro and Martinson, of course, will both be moving on after this season. They will age out, both 20 years old. Martinson still has not committed to a college yet, and most people expect he will be doing so very soon. Molinaro, on the other hand, will be attending Niagara University out in Buffalo, a Division I program. He will be, in all likelihood, will be joining former Wildcat Nick Farmer up there, as Litviak pushes it behind his own net. Scooped off the stick of Round, centering attempt for Ferguson. Loose puck in the blue paint, sticked away by Syme, taken by Joey Molinaro. Play goes on. Molinaro to the goal line. Sheptitsky spins away from Dalton. Mikita Sheptitsky put it on his forehand, gave it back to Joey Molinaro. Swings his way into the high slot. Good stick check by Yeager, who knocked it out to center. Matt Nels floats one wide of the net. The Bulls in the midst of a fire wagon line change. Dalton with his head up, trying to catch the Bulls in the midst of it. His pass went off of Albrecht's stick. As Amarillo recovers now, Nels was the only skater to not make the change, and he stole it at center ice. Rounds, meanwhile, got it back deep. Houston, in behind his own net, puts on the brakes for Amarillo. Also giving Santoro some stick lifts and cross checks in the neutral zone as Jake Houston leads the rush the other way. He delays, he lost possession of the puck. Albrecht out to the left side for Trent Dillinger, the former Amarillo Bull, playing in his first game against them since being traded to the Wildcats. Dillinger from in behind the net takes a few body checks from his former teammates. Puck rattles around the boards. Back to the right point, Gilraith holds, side of the net. What a pass for Lown. His shot, pad save by Baker, picked up Lown in behind the Bulls' net. Lown for Dillinger, far corner. Foreman tries to kick it away. Lown gets it. In deep for Albrecht, couldn't control too many red sweaters in the vicinity, and the Bulls are able to outlet the puck into neutral ice. It is Santoro floating one wide of the net. 3 of the 5 Bulls have already completed their line changes. Albrecht squeezes past a Bulls check. Down his off wing, he's a bit tired here as he backhands one towards the goal. Went off a couple of bodies and finally rattles into the paraphernalia of Brian Baker, and he's going to hang on to it. We're approaching the midway point of period 1 here. Still 1-0 the score in favor of the Wildcats. The lone goal coming off the stick of Nikita Litviak on a short-handed 2-on-0 rush with Adam Goodsir. And it all started because of an ill-advised pass back to the blue line. Tyler Gernhofer was manning the point. Couldn't control it. I'm not saying it was Gernhofer's fault. It was kind of rattling off the glass. It was a tough play for him to knock it down, but you're playing the point on the power play. You have to be aware of being caught flat-footed. Gernhofer, of course, not a defenseman, typically doesn't have to worry about that, but man the point position on the power play as a forward. You have to understand some of the defenseman responsibilities. Oftentimes we see that a lot, forwards getting caught flat-footed as a quick shot from the high slot by Sarnowski goes just wide. Had some speed. Baum turned it over. Another shot from Mika missed the net. Burnett will slap it off the boards and out to center ice. Philippe Fromberger shoots it back in. The other number 16, Jeff Baum, takes over for the Cats. He waits in behind his own net. It's Jeff Baum's father's Jeff Baum. His father's also named Jeff Baum. It's his 50th birthday today, and he is in attendance. So thank you very much to Jeff Baum, Sr., for all that you do for the Wildcats and the amount of support that you give us. We know how many games you attend, and thank you for sending Jeff Baum our way. And happy birthday. Happy 50th birthday to Jeff Baum, Sr. Onto Sipus in behind his own net. Feeds Adam Gutzer. He tried to find Paisan through center. No luck. Icing being nullified courtesy of Paisan's hustle. And he's got it now, left half boards, but cleared out to Gernhofer, who will skate it away from Adam Gutzer. Gernhofer out to George Mika. Good backhand pass, finding Cole Norris. Holden shoots, one off the stick of Dalton and out of play. Got a couple of South Division games going on tonight. Aside from this one, the Odessa Jackalopes are in Corpus Christi again. That game looks like has just started. So no scoring update for you there, nor is there one for the Lone Star Topeka game, because that game does not begin until 7:30 Central Time. With the Wildcats having clinched a postseason berth for the third consecutive season, which, by the way, is the first time the Wildcats have clinched a postseason spot 3 years in a row in franchise history, so that's quite a milestone. They've done it 2 years in a row several times, but their streak was always impeded by an absence from the playoffs. Not this time. 3 straight seasons for the Wildcats, so that's quite an achievement. They've really begun to strengthen their bond with the people of the community here. And nothing unites a fan base like postseason success. Just ask the Chicago Blackhawks. Here's Eric Yeager. Takes a shot from a severe angle, and it was smothered up by Brian Baker. He's 10 for 11 thus far, looking pretty sharp for the Bulls. And the only goal that was scored on him, he had no chance whatsoever on that 2-on-0. Here wins the draw. Dalton gets it and returns it for Rounds. Holds onto it. Goal line, Lazarus. Rounds. Left point, fires, blocked by Mikita Sheptitsky. Houston goes streaking down the ice. Puck intercepted by Lazarus and chopped back to Jake Dalton, who resets it with Rounds now. Michael Rounds, the Mount Pleasant, Michigan native, had, from what I was told, had quite a few scouts talking to him, quite some interest after his very successful performance at the Top Prospects Tournament up in his home state of Michigan. As look out here, the puck rattled off the end boards and came back into the blue paint. Julian Syme able to squat on it and prevent it from bouncing in off of his equipment. Boy, that was a funny hop there. Julian Syme did well to cover it up, because that is more difficult than it looks for a goaltender. Stops behind his own goal and gives it to his fellow California native Rourke Russell, who ran into Santoro. Played back around the boards. Ben Lown has it once more with a good backhand feed for Dillinger, who couldn't get the puck out of the defensive zone. Foreman will just carry it back out that way anyways, reset in center ice and fire it wide. Rourke Russell now. Austin Albrecht comes back to help him out. The Bulls doing a good job of putting on the forecheck here. Long blast from Hall, slapped just wide of the net. Follow-up chance, pushed wide again. Syme looking pretty square in his crease. Here's Ben Lown over on the far side. Lown hooks the puck, tries to get it past two Bulls. Got it past the first, not the second, but here come the Cats. It's Austin Albrecht, far side. He holds, he waits, he shoots. Stopped by Baker, who was run into there. Trent Dillinger, who ran into him in the blue paint, and doesn't look like a penalty will come of this. Baker's got his 10th save of the night. Offensive zone face-off for the Cats, but it's won by the Bulls. Rattled off the right half wall, held in Dalton. Houston, after to get it, Goodsir puts on the pressure down there, wins the puck, sets up Lown, given back to Sipus, his shot blocked. As it jumps out to the left point, Baum couldn't get to it in time as the Bulls escape with it out to center ice, and Beaulieu will take over. Beaulieu gave it across for his line mate Andre Paisan. They've been playing together quite a bit lately on the wings of Adam Goodsir. Beaulieu takes a hit from Jacob Nitschke. 7 minutes remain in period one. 1-0 the score in favor of the Cats, who dump the puck in. Baker will leave it for Jake Houston. For Zach Sarnowski. Now it's chipped out along the left half wall, kept in beautifully by Garrett Van Wy. Houston back behind his own net, pressured by Poikala, and he will just air the puck out to neutral ice, and Singerhouse will try to drive it back in. Went off a couple of bodies. Burnett gave it across for Garrett Van Wy. He's onside. Fromberger pushed it away from him. Burnett with a blind centering attempt. Van Wy had his stick checked. Now it's Poikala trying to wedge it free. He's got it left half boards, gave it across the ice. Two Bulls in the vicinity of Van Wy, who couldn't one-time the puck. Now Dalton's drive hit the post. George Mika, far corner, chips it up the boards. Cole Norris pinned up by Jake Dalton, and Rounds will assume control in his own zone. Gernhofer took it away. Mika one-timed it just wide of the net. As the puck flops out to the left side now, it's going to be carried the other way by Nikita Litviak. Poikala holds the line. That's Paisan as Litviak put it off of Paisan's back. Paisan's held up now along the end wall. The four-man puck scrum that's equally divided ensuing down there in the left corner. Finally, it's pushed out of there, taken by Paisan, fed back to the right point. That was Litviak who gave it to Gilraith. Now Russell put it into an empty corner. The Bulls will be able to skate this puck out of harm's way. It's George Mika down the left side, fires a shot, went off the stick of Gilraith and out of play. 5:25 to go in period one. 1-0 the score in favor of the Wildcats. 11-2 the shots in favor of the Cats. They have dominated in that department, no doubt. Bulls are trying to play spoiler here for the Wildcats, who, as of right now, hold the record for consecutive home wins. Two separate records. They have the best two home winning streaks in the North American Hockey League with 8 and 7. Lown takes a shot, goes just wide. I think he was hoping for Dillinger's stick on the redirect. Gilraith shot one. Dillinger tipped it. Goes off the pads of Baker. Turnaround shot went off the post again. It was Albrecht. Albrecht has it right corner, put it in deep. Hall got it past Lown. Hall still working for it. Ferguson aiding him, and he will skate it out. Liam Ferguson down the right wing side will dump the puck into the opposite corner. Rourke Russell back to get it. He gave it away. Molinaro centers, open to Santoro, and he fanned on the shot. Goes wide, taken by Albrecht, and he will just play it to nobody in particular, but he managed to get it out of the zone. The Bulls reset with 4.5 to go in period one. Their team trailing by a goal. Paisan picked the pocket of Molinaro, who's tired at the end of a shift as Beaulieu shot one, stopped by Baker, taken by Beaulieu and behind the net. Beaulieu gave it back to Sipus, who tried to one-time the puck, had his stick checked by Joe DiBenedetto. Bolio back across. Here's a drive. Stopped. Rebound. Bolio has it. Or Goodsir, rather. Gave it to Paisan. Paisan finds an open Jeff Baum. Baum takes the shot. Blocker save Baker. Taken by Joe DiBenedetto. Back in behind the Bulls net. Now it's Houston. Houston waits. A good offensive zone surge for the Wildcats. Finally has simmered down as the puck is tipped into the offensive zone by DiBenedetto as he goes for a line change with less than 4 to go in the period. Dom Sipus leaves it for Alexi Poikala. Poikala had a blowout. Nitschke on the counterattack. He's in down the left side. Nitschke back to Singerhouse. He shot one just wide of the net. Taken by Hall. Right half boards. Got around Ryan Burnett. Did well in doing so. Now it's Jacob Nitschke. Nitschke feeding Hall. Hall tries to give it across for Singerhouse. Went off a Wildcat skate. I believe it was Garrett Van Wise. Now here's Ryan Burnett down the right side. Taking it wide on Fromberger, who just pushed him off of it at the last second. Fromberger back the other way. Will drop it off for Tyler Hall. Van Wise slams it back in. Hall for Fromberger. Back for Hall. Out to center. Tipped into the offensive zone. The Bulls reset again with another line change. The Wildcats in full possession now in their own zone as they skate out. Hofer rattles it off of Yeager's body. Didn't see where it was. Houston kicked it from his skate to his stick. Jake Houston out to the left side. The puck dumped into the Wildcat zone. From the left side to the right. Now it's Mika. Out to the right circle, and it was Cole Norris who turned one on goal, and it was blocked. Now here comes Yeager for the Cats. Yeager gave it to Burnett. His shot was blocked by Gernhofer. Pops in behind the Bulls net. Rourke Russell's going to keep it in and drive one. Went wide, short side, hit the glass and behind the net. And the puck's been pushed out to center ice. Gilraith felt the pressure from Norris. Puck dumped back into the Bulls zone. Only the defensemen remain on the ice as the forwards complete a line change for the Cats. Houston out to the left wing. Matt Meininger for Amarillo who dumped it in. Joey Molinaro pinned up against the corner boards by the Wildcats. Gilraith ends up with possession of the puck. He feeds Ben Lown, who gave it to Albrecht one-on-one against Nels. Albrecht to his backhand, couldn't get a clean shot away. He ran out of real estate down there. Lown wraps up Matt Nels, one of the alternate captains now that Dillinger's with the Wildcats. Lown stole the puck, then gave it away. It's Joey Molinaro back on the counter rush for the Bulls. Molinaro takes the shot, went off of Rourke Russell and wide. Russell has it now for the Wildcats. Austin Albrecht played it off an opposing skate. I believe it was Mikita Sheptitsky getting in the way of that pass, and down goes Sipus. Took a funny tumble there. Tried to take Mikita Sheptitsky's skates out from under him, or that was Santoro rather, and the Bulls were offside. Santoro regained the line a bit prematurely there. Sipus was taken down along the far half boards by Nick Santoro and did a funny looking spinorama down there. Not sure if he was trying to take Santoro down or steal the puck back. Neutral zone face-off win for the Bulls. Hall gave it to Meininger, the former Jackalope. Rattles it off the far corner glass. Baum takes a hit to make a play. Paisan had his pocket picked. Santoro forechecking hard. Baum fanned on the outlet pass, but Bolio recovers it. Bolio played a pass with too much sauce, hoping for a good sir. Instead, he got Tyler Hall. Paisan plays it cross ice. Joe DiBenedetto, the Amarillo captain, back in deep for Matt Meininger. Rounds holds it, he shoots it, save, rebound, Lown in, he's tripped, that's Bolio rather, he was tripped, no penalty. Dalton pinches down the boards and fires from a severe angle, trickles wide, hops over Bolio's stick. He hangs on with half a minute to go in the period. Bolio left half boards, takes the shot through the screen. Baker stopped it but never saw it. Puck shot off the glass and the Bulls will skate it out of harm's way. The last minute of play is brought to you by La Quinta Inn and Suites, the official host hotel of your Wichita Falls Wildcats, where the Amarillo Bulls will be accommodated here tonight for the first time this season. Ryan Burnett, the recipient of a neutral zone pass. It was in stride, but he couldn't control it. A bit too hot to handle. Singerhouse with one last try. He ran out of time, and that's going to wrap things up. That's all she wrote for period one, and it was a period that was absolutely dominated by the Wildcats. 18-3, the shots on goal. The Cats had 6 times the amount of shots that the Bulls did, so we'll call that a successful period for the Wildcats, despite only putting one into the back of the net. Got to give Brian Baker a lot of credit for keeping his team in this one. Julian Syme with some pretty good positioning down there as well. First period of Wildcats hockey was brought to you by American Classifieds, and it ends 1-0 in favor of the Cats. We'll be back in a few minutes to play you your Wildcats Wednesday report. I know a lot of you have already listened to it. If you haven't had a chance to, now's your chance. Stay tuned, folks. We're just a couple days away now from some Wildcats hockey. We know you've all been missing that. With you as always, I'm Alex Von Coydel, hoping you Wildcats fans had a nice Valentine's Day and a nice little break from the action for a couple of weeks. And joining me now on this week's edition of Wildcats Wednesday, presented by Armored Roofing, is your head coach, John LaFontaine. Coach, thanks as always.
Thanks, Alex, for sure. Good to see you, buddy.
So, Coach, a rare bye week now behind us, but it was not a bye week for you and several other Wildcats. Of course, you returned to your home state of Michigan last week to coach the South Division team in the 2016 Top Prospects Tournament, a team which included 5 of your own players, Wildcats Nikita Litviak, Johnny Lazarus, Nick Rosa, Michael Rounds, and Jeff Baum were all a part of that team, and of course 3 other Wildcats being chosen for the NAHL Select team as well. You won both games. Tell us a little bit about what that experience was like.
It was a great experience. That line, winning cures everything. It's fun to win, and the group was really fun to work with. Not that we had to do any work; we just opened up the doors for them. But they competed hard, worked hard, and you could tell they just came together real quickly. So it was so much more enjoyable, I guess, than last year. Um, Last year we had to play the U18 team, and they were very strong. They were beating colleges, and we started it. But these guys, they just seemed like they got along right away. Unique story was that we made the lines up, went in the locker room, and found out that out of 12 Nick Rosa gets hurt. He was only one of two.
Right.
So now we're even down even more without a center. But the guys filled in. They're smart hockey players and made for an interesting weekend, but a fun weekend. And I was really impressed. The North American League. I was just impressed with every detail was covered. You couldn't be more proud to go, wow, I'm part of this league, because their presentation as far as scouting rooms and their food for the players and how organized they were, and the venue was really nice. Obviously, the U.S. is upgraded as far as moving to Plymouth, because the arena and facility is a lot nicer and more accommodating for bigger crowds. So it was just a great, fun couple days. We had a couple coaches meetings, and I don't remember that many scouts the year. There was a lot of scouts the year before. There was so many scouts. After our second game, I have never seen that many scouts in the hallway. There was probably 50.
Wow.
And it took about an hour and a half to hit each player to talk to different scouts. So it was impressive from that too. And that was just the college guys. There was an awful lot of NHL scouts there too. So it was a really nice event. That was just every detail was covered. Proud to be part of the North American.
Coach, I've heard you hint at the exposure these players received before. You mentioned how impressed you were prior to this interview by the amount of scouts at this tournament. Were you there last year? Is that a sort of like a way to compare it to this year for you?
Yeah, I was there last year, and there was a lot of scouts last year, but the numbers were even higher this year. And um, and it was similar from a standpoint of players getting good attention. But our guys are getting pretty good attention. We've had a lot of scouts all year long. So, um, but that's just an event, obviously, that easy for them to come and get to see a lot of good hockey. And the other thing, I guess, is I was more impressed with the level of play. Last year we had some crazy travel schedules, guys that didn't get much rest, and it showed. They were just dead tired. And I thought the first game you could see guys that were still tired from the weekend, but especially the Lone Star Corpus players, because they had to play 3 games, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, travel Sunday, and play Monday morning, Tuesday morning. So it's from that standpoint, you'd like to do things different, and that was one of the suggestions. Was at the coaches meeting was that let's move it to Tuesday, Wednesday, so the guys get a day to rest, an extra day to rest. So instead of Monday, Tuesday.
But that sounds like it was a great tournament, and sounds like it was great for these young players on the Wildcats, 8 of whom had the chance to showcase their skills in front of just about every Division I school, hockey school in the country, as well as several NHL scouts as well who were in attendance. And Coach, going forward, the Wildcats' schedule looks pretty good. Just 13 regular season games left. 9 of them are at home, and many of them are against teams the Cats have dominated this season. But regardless, Coach, looking at the standings, division standings, it's got to be a little bit concerning with the Lone Star Brahmas looming just 5 points behind the Wildcats for first place. With the postseason sort of knocking on the door at this point, how important is it for the Wildcats to buckle down and hang on to that first place spot?
We try to communicate to our guys that don't look at the standings. We just have to play hockey. We have to worry about ourselves. So we're in a position right now where we just have to take care of business ourselves. And the teams that we've had success with throughout the year, you almost got to throw that out the window. And a great example is Odessa. We were 7-0 against them, and
Right.
most of those games were pretty firmly in hand for the most part. We had our way with them, but it always changes. Every year I see this, where this time of year, those teams are very desperate. Maybe they didn't have a good first half, but they've worked hard. They're all very well coached. There's all strong coaching in this league, so you knew they were going to get better. And obviously they're giving Odessa or Lone Star fits because they beat Lone Star on Saturday. So um, it doesn't matter who you're playing this time of year. Everybody's scraping and clawing and scratching for trying to get in the playoffs. Now, the one exception would be Amarillo. Looks like they're probably eliminated, and they've gone to try to get younger. But those are the scary teams to play also, they've had our number the next night. All 3 weekends before that, they come back on Saturday and owned us. It wasn't like it was a close game. So um, we're building off of that. We worked hard. The guys that were here worked hard uh, because we knew we had the weekend off, just breaking them down and just working on the fundamentals and continuing to focus on getting better. And if each player isn't focusing on their weaknesses and trying to get better, then teams are going to catch us.
It is a tremendous opportunity for the Wildcats to try and better themselves. Despite struggling this season, the Bulls do have some very dangerous players. Joey Molinaro, Anton Martinson, George Mika, and others. All three of them, by the way, were on your team at the South Division, with the South Division at the Prospects Tournament, so you know full well what they're capable of doing. Um, and it'll be a fun series. We're very much looking forward to it. And Coach, as always, we really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
That's Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine, and I'm Alex Von Coitel, bringing you this week's edition of Wildcats Wednesday, presented by Armored Roofing. The Cats are back at home this weekend. Games are on Friday and Saturday night, 7 p.m. at the KYC. Friday night, the Wildcats will be giving away free T-shirts for the first 500 kids through the doors, courtesy of Digital Deviants. And Saturday night, we will be auctioning off our one-of-a-kind cancer awareness jerseys presented by Whataburger. The jerseys will be worn by the players both nights. $5 ticket weekend also back underway, so that's good news for you local fans. To purchase your tickets, you can call the KYC box office at 940-716-5555. For the non-local fans, we hope you can tune into our broadcasts this weekend. You can watch us, as always, on Fast Hockey. You can hear us, as always, on YouTube. Wildcats Bulls this weekend at the KYC. Till then, so long, everyone. All right, welcome back, folks, to our Fast Hockey audience. We hope you enjoyed the this week's edition of Wildcats Wednesday, presented by Armored Roofing. And to our YouTube audience, welcome back, and we hope all of you have enjoyed the broadcast up till this point. We know you've probably enjoyed the game up till this point. 18-3 the shots on goal for the Wildcats, possibly the most lopsided period the Wildcats have been a part of all season long. 6 times the amount of shots from the Cats. And they lead by a score of 1-0. Brian Baker has done an outstanding job for Amarillo, keeping his team within striking distance in this one here tonight. I spoke with new Wildcats forward Trent Dillinger, the former Amarillo Bull. He had spent the past 2.5 seasons there. So I spoke with him before the game about what this game meant to him. I'm going to be honest. He was acting like it was just another game. You know how hockey players are. They're, for the most part, pretty quiet. And, not 100% sure if he said exactly what he was feeling. But we certainly saw him getting into some confrontations and some scuffles down there, particularly behind the Bulls' net in that first period. I'm sure some of his former teammates giving him a hard time out there on the ice. Playing in his first game against Amarillo. He was really a kind of a heart and soul type of guy for the Bulls. Not the biggest point scorer for Amarillo, but he wore an A on his sweater for a reason while he was there. Speaking with Dennis Puska, the Amarillo broadcaster, he told me he was just one of those guys that will be dearly missed, especially in the locker room. For the Wildcats, it's a much-needed addition to their team, because what they've been lacking in all season long, for the most part, has been size. Trent Dillinger has got that, 6'3", 180 pounds. Another thing they may lack a little bit, veteran leadership. Dillinger also has that. He's been in this league for years. He's 20 years old, which, believe it or not, is old by these guys' standards. One of the older guys on the team, so the Wildcats really getting a complete package as far as their needs in Trent Dillinger, especially looking forward to the postseason. Because if you don't have physicality in the postseason, you're not going anywhere. Folks, if it seems as though PointStreak.com has been having issues, looks like they may have been resolved, at least for now. We'll see here. Working at the moment, so I'll go ahead and give you your first out-of-town scoreboard update. All four East Division teams playing tonight. The Aston Rebels in Johnstown taking on the Tomahawks, and they've got a 4-1 lead over Johnstown. And the Rebels looking to get back into first place. The New Jersey Titans have really started to pull away from them a little bit. Though it's just a 4-point lead, the Aston Rebels had that first place spot locked down for quite some time. They've just managed to lose it. It's not looking good for the Titans, though. They trail the last place Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights by a score of 2-1. So that's a game to keep an eye out for. The East Division probably right now is the most unpredictable as far as where teams could end up, because the top three teams, they are so close. Wilkes-Barre Scranton, really the only outlier in that division, 12 points behind the Johnstown Tomahawks. All four of them, of course, will make the postseason. That's just the nature of the alignment here in the divisions. So with that being said, the Wildcats, aside from those four who are guaranteed a playoff spot, the Wildcats are the first team this season to clinch a postseason berth. So that's quite a milestone as well. Don't think that's ever happened before. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs, of course, very close behind them. A very impressive 37-7-3 record, the best points percentage in the North American Hockey League. They will clinch in all likelihood tonight, provided Cooley Region does not win and they do not lose simultaneously. If that happens, they'll need to play another game, but in all likelihood, Fairbanks will clinch tonight. Minnesota Magicians in Austin taking on the Robertson Cup runners-up, the Austin Bruins, 1-0 Minnesota after one period of play. The Aberdeen Wings in Bismarck taking on the Bobcats. The Bismarck Bobcats with a 1-0 lead over their South Dakota rivals, the Aberdeen Wings. And, trying to get a box score of these games, folks, and Point Streak is giving me the infamous error message. The Jackalopes in Corpus Christi still scoreless, nearing the end of period one. The Topeka Roadrunners and Lone Star Brahmas also scoreless. A bit of a clash of the Titans there. The Roadrunners and Brahmas have each had very successful seasons, third and second place respectively. If the playoff picture stands the way it is now, the two of them will be playing each other in the first round of the Robertson Cup playoffs. And it's just a matter of battling things out for home ice advantage. However, the Brahmas can catch the Wildcats, and that is ultimately their goal. They're just 5 points behind the Cats, though the Wildcats do have one game in hand. The Minot Minotauros in Brookings taking on the Blizzard and trailing by a score of 1-0. The Cooley Region Chill with a 1-0 lead over the Minnesota Wilderness at the Northwoods Credit Union Arena. I'm, again, unfortunately unable to load the box score here. I can't tell you if any of the former Wildcats have scored in that game, because seems like Point Streak's having some issues here tonight, folks, and we apologize for that. And both Alaska teams, the Fairbanks Ice Dogs and the Kenai River Brown Bears, each hosting the Blues and the Jets, respectively. Those games not beginning until 7:30 p.m. Alaska time. That's going to wrap things up for your first out-of-town scoreboard report. Meanwhile, we're just 35 seconds away from second period hockey, brought to you by American Classifieds. The Wildcats with a 1-0 lead over the Amarillo Bulls. 18-3, the shots on goal. It's been a dominant game thus far for the Wildcats. We'll see if that continues here. Matt Nicholson certainly has been known to light a fire under his players in between periods. See how the Bulls respond. At this point in the season, they're not really playing for a whole lot other than their own pride. Making the postseason is looking more and more like a pipe dream for Amarillo. But the second period of Wildcats hockey, brought to you by American Classifieds, is underway. The Amarillo Bulls win the first faceoff of period two, as Houston gave it across the ice for Matt Nels. Puck chopped into Wichita Falls territory. George Mika in pursuit, as is Dalton. Took a funny hop. Centering pass. One-timer from Cole Norris is stopped by Julian Syme. An early test on Syme, just 19 seconds into the period. Julian Syme's parents are in attendance tonight. I saw a car outside of the Wildcats office earlier this week that had an Ontario license plate. I realized pretty quickly that that can only mean one thing. And lo and behold, the very next day, ran into them in the Wildcats office. Very nice folks. So glad that they're here, and we can see where Julian Syme gets his manners from. No doubt about that. And we hope he can get a win for them here tonight. As a slap shot from the right point from Matt Nels was wide short side. Rattled back around the boards, couldn't be held by Jake Houston. In pursuit of it now is Matt Nels, an icing call forthcoming against the Cats. Half a minute has gone by in period 2. The Bulls have the only shot of the period, and it was a pretty tough one. Came off the stick of Cole Norris on a point-blank try. He was set up by George Mika from in behind the Cats' net. Julian Syme equal to the task. 18-4 rather, the shots on goal. 1-0 the score in favor of the Cats. Tyler Gernhofer tries to spin one on net, blocked by Trent Dillinger, his former teammate. Dillinger out to Austin Albrecht. Tries to clear, couldn't do it. Cole Norris had his pocket pick. There goes Albrecht down the left side. He's got some help behind him. Albrecht tried the rink-wide pass. Hopped over Lowndes' stick. Taken now along the boards as Fromberger tries to chop it out. Got it to Norris, who took a hit from Sipus. As Baum resets in his own end. Out to the left side, Albrecht takes a slash. Play continues. Albrecht had it stolen from him, never gave up on it and pushed it further. Philippe Fromberger now in control for Amarillo. Gave it off at Joey Molinero's skate. Tyler Hall takes over in behind his own net, spins it away from Lazarus. Yeager on the foretrack, tried to knock it loose from Fromberger. Hall again with it. He will work it out for Amarillo. He loves to lead the rush as the defenseman. This time he will just backhand it in deep. Nikita Sheptitsky in there muddling things up against the other number 11, Rourke Russell. Ferguson pushed it along the boards, but to the wrong guy. Lazarus with a pretty backhand pass, finding Nikita Litviak, the lone goal scorer, sets up Yeager. Lost possession of the puck as he took it wide down the right side on Meininger. Meininger wraps up Yeager along the corner boards. Yeager escaping with it back to the right point now. Gilraith couldn't hold it in. Molinero's right behind him as Gilraith hustles after it in his own zone. He slaps it around the end boards. Gave it to Rourke Russell, far corner. Chips it up the boards. Van Wy slaps it out. Molinero back in control. The Bulls' leading scorer takes a shot. Stick save Syme. Russell pushes it in behind his own goal. It's Noah Gilraith. Good lead pass for Yeager. He will shoot it out to center. Van Wy's going to get to it. Backhand shot stopped by Brian Baker. Now Van Wy in behind the net, working for it against an Amarillo Bull down there. That is Jeff Salau, another new player in the Amarillo uniform. Poikla with a good steal on the back check. He weaves with it, takes the shot, redirected it into the goal. Garrett Van Wy. He's got his 10th goal of the season. And what a goal it was. He doubles the Wildcats' lead. They are up 2-0. Play all started because of the defensive pressure put on by Alexei Poikla. What a player he has become. Goodser with a steal. Left circle. Holds and shoots. Missed wide, or it was high, I believe, on the shoulder of Baker. Now Bolio has it at the goal line. Stolen from him by Jake Houston. Former USHLer will haul it down the right side. Houston gets around everybody, put it through the net mouth, and Syme made the save. Now it's Nitschke trying to get it back for Houston. He's caught all the way in behind the Wildcats' net as the Cats move it back the other direction. Austin Bolio delays. He's wrapped up by Matt Nels, or Sarnowski rather. Now Nels pushes it around the end boards for Houston. Houston made a safe play to get it up the boards, and Nitschke will rattle it out to center. Wildcats reset in neutral ice. Demantas Sipus, who just recently returned after trying out for the Lithuanian Olympic team. A shot from the left side is denied by Baker. Sipus' follow-up bid blocked by a maze of Bulls out in front of the net. Nels chops it up the wall, hoping for Sarnowski. Pushed away from him. Now Dillinger in control for the Wildcats as he slaps it off the sideboards. Lown is onside. He moves in and shoots. Stick save Baker, taken by Houston. Couldn't get it past Albrecht. Albrecht from in behind the Bulls net looks for somewhere to go with it. Backhanded it towards the goal, and it's smothered up in the blue ice by Brian Baker, who's got his 20th save of the night. Yeager against George Mika. Yeager wins the draw. Lazarus put it in deep. Litviak has it behind the net. He's got a short-handed goal this evening. Litviak's pass bounces. It was intended for Lazarus. Went off Mika's stick. Lazarus sets up Yeager for a one-timer. Glove saved by Baker. Loose puck. Scramble ensuing. Lazarus has it far corner. Looks to the back. Gives it there. It's Russell walking the blue line. Skates it down the left wall and fires. Ricocheted off a couple of sticks and wide as Lazarus works hard for that puck and regains possession. Spins it towards the goal line. Goes all the way around the boards. Litviak and Russell going after it, as well as Gernhofer and Hall for the Bulls. Litviak tied up by Hall, had his pocket picked. Gernhofer now in control, settles it down and wraps it around his own end wall. The Bulls will finally, it looks like, be able to escape their own zone as Hall gave it to Mika. Mika second on the Bulls in points. He has been virtually all season long behind Joey Molinaro. Mika with 35 points on the campaign to Molinaro's 38. John LaFontaine coached George Mika at the Top Prospects tournament just a week and a half ago. Dalton has it, high slot, takes the shot, ricochets just wide, went off a body in front, and a penalty upcoming against Amarillo. So the Cats will get their second look on the Jim Arnold's Collision power play, which had some good chances. Seemed like it ended pretty quickly to me, but it generated some offensive scoring chances, so we'll see if that continues here. Their penalty kill looked even better. They scored a goal on it. And Joey Molinaro is going to have a seat for the Bulls. Boykla won the draw cleanly, but it goes all the way back into the Wildcats zone. Julian Syme will play it out to Noah Gilraith. Ryan Burnett with all kinds of speed, skates it down the right side, centers, hoping for Van Wy, went between his stick and his skates. Gilraith slapped it across for Poikla's one-timer that ricocheted off a Bulls kneecap, it looked like, and down and wide as Poikla tries to send it towards the net. Intercepted. Litviak down the right half wall. Van Wy took a hit. He made the play, but Singerhouse intercepts and will get it out to his winger Joe DiBenedetto. Long shot, glove save Simon. Loose puck is corralled by Alexi Poikla. Poikla's got a minute and 15 seconds to work with on this power play. Wildcats power play is brought to you by Jim Arnold's Collision Repairs. Here's Andre Paisan in behind the net for Nikita Litviak. He was tied up. Paisan picks up his own loose puck. Now back in deep, it's Bolio. Bolio sends it all the way back to the blue line. Gilraith did well to hold it in. Played it towards the corner, hoping for Bolio. He got it to him. Good sir now. Left or right corner, back to Gilraith again. Gilraith gave it across. Bolio far circle, tries to return it for Gilraith, who's got to hustle back now, but a diving play was made by Ferguson to just safely clear it the length of the ice, rather than trying for Nitsche on the 2-on-1 possibility. Here's Jeff Baum back on the ice for the remaining 35 on the power play. Eric Yeager takes it past a bowl and centers for Goodsir. It was just out of his wheelhouse there, so he couldn't one-time the puck. Goodsir's got it along the half boards, gives it back to the point for Baum. Here's the shot, tipped on goal and stopped by Baker for another save as Ferguson, or Fromberger rather, is tied up down there. He's surrounded by all kinds of white sweaters. Yeager will pick up the loose puck. Couldn't get it back to the point. Bolio has it. He will get it back to the point. It's Jeff Baum again walking the blue line. Backhands it into the circle. Goodsir gave it back to him. Baum again. Here's the shot. Tipped off of a Wildcat stick and out of play. I think it was Litviak who tipped it high and out of play. 12:49 to go in period two. We're back to five skaters aside as Joey Molinaro was let out of the box. Again, some good offense generated by the Cats, but nothing to show for it. They still lead 2-0, however. Their second power play comes to an end, and they've failed to convert twice. Lau gets it out to center. Joe DiBenedetto plays the puck further there for Nick Santoro. Dillinger tripped up, no penalty. Dillinger wants one but won't get one. Jake Dalton in behind his own net now. Maybe in a tie game that gets called possibly. Bernard Altner allowing the play to continue. Lown couldn't get it past Salau. Salau with a good keep. Battle down there along the right half boards. There was a stick that was chopped all the way back out to center. I believe it belonged to Michael Rounds. He doesn't know where his stick is. Down goes Lown. Out to center again. Matt Meininger takes over, and a penalty forthcoming here against Amarillo, I believe. Much of that shift, Michael Rounds didn't know where his stick was. It was all the way out in the neutral zone. And now the timekeeper, whoever's standing over there in the Wildcats penalty box, has just handed Michael Rounds his stick. I'll tell you who that is in just a second. Zach. Another penalty upcoming against the Bulls. The Wildcats going back to their third power play of the night. They're 0 for 2, but they've had some good looks. Looks like Gilraith will be manning the point again, so we've seen a lot of him on the power play recently. The Wildcats are caught offside on that last rush. 4-7, the shots on goal, 2-0 the score, both in favor of the Wildcats. 11:46 to go in period 2. 100 seconds remain on this third Wildcats power play of the night. Baum lays a pretty pass across the ice, and Bolio just couldn't tuck it in. He's got it now, right corner. Bolio surveys, patiently awaits, and played it across a Goodser's skate. Now back out to the high slot. Baum kept it alive. Bolio on his opposite side gave it across the ice. Again, it played it off a skate, so Yeager couldn't do much with it. Eyes on trying to wedge it free. He did. Working hard down there. Goodser got it across. It's Yeager. Back to Baum. Here's the shot. Goes well high and goes out of play. That just went clean off the mesh and behind the net of Brian Baker. Dillinger's back out there for the Cats. Michael Rounds gains the blue line, played it across. It was picked off by Nitchie and cleared. Simon, who is 7 for 7 on the evening, will leave it off, and the Wildcats emerge with it in neutral ice. A big bad turnover there from Albrecht. He gave it right to Nitchie. He moves in and shoots, goes wide of the net. Ferguson pinned up, got it in deep. Nitchie takes a hit from Rounds. That's Albrecht, Lazarus, and he's a bit stung after that, folks. He is ailing all the way to the Wildcats bench. Hopefully he's all right. Lazarus just left his stick down there. Lown leaves it off for Rounds. Russell wants it fresh off the bench. Russell gave it across for Lown. It was not in his wheelhouse by any means. Lown has it far half wall. Played it into the slot. Lown tries to settle it down. He falls and he centers, but Houston's checked the stick of Austin Albrecht. Albrecht got it in behind the net for Ben Lown. Back around the boards, it's Rounds, holding and shooting, tipped and stopped, rebound, score! Trent Dillinger! His first goal against his former team. It's a power play goal, and the Wildcats finally come through on the man advantage, and it's 3-0. Gotta feel good for Trent Dillinger. His first game against his former team, a team that has really done a great job, a tremendous job in Trent Dillinger's development and his character. He went to Amarillo, of course, after playing in Gillette, Wyoming, his hometown, in the NA3HL. He tried out for the Wildcats a couple of seasons ago, was actually the last player cut from the team. He also tried out for the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees back when they were still a franchise. Burnett gives it to Sipe as he pinches and centers for Van Wy. Nearly had his second of the night. It hopped off of Baker's equipment and wide. And Van Wy got it back to Poikala, slaps it towards the goal, picked off, and caroms into the corner. Meininger gave it around the boards. Van Wy to the right side for Burnett. He flutters it wide of the goal. Rourke Russell holds it. Tries to give it across. It went off a Bull's stick. It was Sarnowski. Regardless, very impressive. Trent Dillinger has lit it up for the Wildcats since coming here. He has had more points for Wichita Falls, or more goals at least. For Wichita Falls in just 6 games played here than he did all season with the Amarillo Bulls. So I think he's liking it here so far. To our second period media timeout here. 8:55 to go in period 2. 3-0 the score in favor of your Wichita Falls Wildcats. The goals tonight for the Wildcats have been scored by Nikita Litviak, Garrett Van Wy, and Trent Dillinger. Rattles in behind the Wildcats net. The Bulls applying some pressure here, it looks like. Mika in that far corner. Got it to Cole Norris. Now it's Gernhofer. Gernhofer centers for Mika, in a bit too tight there. Couldn't pull the trigger. Gernhofer again put it in front for Mika's backhander. That flutters high of the net. Pizon gave it around the wall. Fromberger's shot right into the breadbasket for Julian Syme, who's got his 11th stop of the evening. Dropped unfairly, says the linesman, Trent Williams, so they're going to try this again. Michael Foreman, Nick Santoro, and Joe DiBenedetto tasked with his offensive zone draw for the Bulls. And Joe DiBenedetto, the Amarillo captain, he was out this season with injuries for a very significant portion of time. Here comes Nikita Litviak with some speed. Holds, gave it across, a bit too far for Rounds. Rounds, the defenseman, pinching in a bit, just half a second too late there. He would have had a glorious scoring chance. Litviak got it in deep for Ryan Burnett. Burnett trickles it back to the right point for Dalton, his fellow Michigan native, and DiBenedetto blocked his shot. DiBenedetto gets it there along the right side from Nick Santoro. Pushed free and taken by Eric Yeager, who's got a 3-on-2 on the counterattack for the Cats. Litviak leaves it off there for Ben Lown. Look at him go. Ben Lown centers from in behind the net. Went off a Bull's stick, I think. And Foreman will try to clear. And he does. Santoro takes over. Toro got it to Matt Nels. The Bulls' alternate captain got it to Foreman, who clears. Albrecht in his own zone, gave it around the end boards, too far for Dillinger, but it's taken by Poikala instead, or Baum rather. Lound back for Dillinger, he will skate it through center. Dillinger is not wearing his customary number 28 tonight. Lound fans on a shot there because the Wildcats had not ordered these jerseys before Trent had been traded here, so there's a number 19, which used to belong to Max Reisinger. They took the nameplate off of that. As a long shot from Meininger was on target, Sy made the blocker save. But I've almost been tempted to call Trent Dillinger Max Reisinger a couple of times. They shoot the same way, both left-handed shooters. A little bit similar, to be honest. Backhand attempt there from Liam Ferguson was snuffed out by Big Dom Sipus. Sipus gives it to Ryan Burnett. Burnett floats it out to neutral ice, and what have we here? A whistle has blown. This faceoff will take place in the neutral zone. 6 minutes remain in period 2. 3-0 Wildcats here at the KYC on $5 ticket night. The fans very much appreciative of that. It was very successful the last time the Wildcats did it, a couple of weekends ago when the Cats hosted the Topeka Roadrunners here at the KYC. $5 ticket night both nights. And the fans really loved it, so they're doing it again tonight, tomorrow night, and Wednesday night as Burnett shoots wide, and it goes, I believe it went off the mesh. No, they play on. It went off the glass. Nitchie got it as far as the red line, but no further. Russell chops it free. Poikala back the other way. Chips it in. Hall back for Amarillo. Ran into Poikala. Puck comes loose, and Van Wy is wrapped up. He couldn't do a whole lot with it. He ends up with it and stuffs it towards the net from the goal line. It was stopped by Baker. Now Gilraith gave it across the ice. Gilraith gets the return and shoots on the one-timer that's smothered up by Brian Baker. Boy, has Noah Gilraith's shot improved or what? That is a rhetorical question. It has. He has gained quite a bit of confidence coming on board this season. Rounds takes a long wrist shot from the blue line that ricocheted wide. Gilraith didn't shoot the puck nearly as much at the start of the campaign as he is now, which is great to see. Not only has his confidence improved significantly, but I'd say his poise back there and his shot in general just seems harder, seems more accurate. He was a player that the assistant coach, Josh Nelson, former Null defenseman, had to actually tell him to slow his game down a little bit. Typically with players, it's the other way around. They come from a Tier 3 junior team, or they come from their high school teams, and they're not accustomed to how fast everything is here at the North American Hockey League level. And with Gilraith, it was just the opposite. Van Wy's one-timer, he broke his stick. So the puck rolls harmlessly into the Bulls' corner. Houston and Foreman wedge it loose for Matt Nels, and they will escape with no harm done. Shot from center ice by Foreman is smothered up by Julian Syme, who is now 15 for 15, folks. 4:10 to go in period 2, 3-0 Wildcats. Courtesy of goals scored by Nikita Litviak, Garrett Van Wy, and Trent Dillinger. Burnett will wheel the puck out. Gets it ahead for Nikita Litviak, who tried to spin with it. Matt Nels prevented him from doing so. The Bulls on the other way. Foreman gave it away, and now Burnett. Burnett put it into the slot. Litviak had his pocket picked. Jeff Salau clears to neutral ice. Jeff Baum now will give it back to Sipus, who finds Burnett. Burnett dumps the puck in. Jeff Salau harassed by Eric Yeager every step of the way. Finally, he gave it back to Houston. Now he's pressured by Albrecht. Boy, look at the forecheck by the Wildcats. Finally, the Bulls escape with it. Joey Molinaro dekes past a couple of Cats. Gave it off to the right side. Here's a quick shot, and that one goes high and off the glass. Well, probably the best chance of the period for the Bulls. It was Liam Ferguson who just missed the net. Rourke Russell takes a hit, got it around his end wall. Austin Albrecht gave it back to him. Took a funny hop off a partition. Eric Yeager will just safely hook the puck out to the neutral zone, and the Bulls regroup now with it. Philippe Fromberger played it off of Liam Ferguson's stick. No icing here. Russell plays it off the boards. It's Lown who has to spin with it. Leading scorer Joey Molinaro dumps it back into the Wildcat zone and goes after it himself. Russell chips it along the wall. Albrecht gets it out to center. Dillinger will dump it deep into Amarillo territory. Dillinger gives it up the right wall for Gilraith, who tried to center. It was picked off easily by Zach Sarnowski, who's got a one-on-one against Russell. Sarnowski's shot blocked by Russell, goes wide into the far corner. Down goes Sarnowski trying to sell a penalty, and he's going to get one. Now some pushing and shoving ensues down there between Sarnowski and Russell after the fact, but regardless of what happens in that confrontation, the Wildcats will be shorthanded here for the second time in this game. And they're hoping it can be something like what it was like the first time they were shorthanded, because they scored a goal. That opened the scoring. Nikita Litviak on that 2-on-0 rush after the puck was conceded at the blue line by Tyler Gernhofer. Wouldn't say conceded, but he just couldn't keep it in along the left half boards. So as a result, Litviak found himself on a 2-on-0 with Goodsir. Not sure Litviak even knew he had Goodsir with him, because he just took it upon himself to carry that puck all the way and just deke Baker out of position. Sometimes on a 2-on-0, the goaltender is so concerned about the player without the puck that he loses focus. Perhaps that's what Litviak's intention was the whole time. And now look at this. The Cats could have a 2-on-1 rush. Paisan goes to the net. Bolio feeds him in the slot, and he lost a handle on it. Good back check by Joey Molinaro, who skates it back the other direction on the counterattack for Amarillo. Molinaro down the right side will give it off back to the right point. It's picked off, and Bolio will skate it back the other direction. He finds Paisan. Workhorse he has been tonight. Doesn't always get the glory, but Andre Paisan is the epitome of a hard-working hockey player. Coach LaFontaine absolutely loves him. Goodsir clears the puck the length of the ice. Baker will leave it for Tyler Hall. 28-15 the shots on goal. 1:10 to go in period 2. 3-0 the score in favor of the Cats, and the Bulls work the final 50 seconds of their power play as Hall gets it in deep, takes a hit from Jeff Baum at the blue line. Puck rattles out to the left point in the Cat zone, held in Fromberger, taken by Mika, given across the ice, hoping for Tyler Hall. He's got it right circle, in deep now Cole Norris, back for Hall. Hall at the right half boards, gave it down low. It's Mika spinning with it. He gets away from Sipus. Mika back to the right point. Hall walks the line, fakes the shot, takes the shot, flutters just wide. I think it went off of Cole Norris's stick. Didn't miss the net by more than a couple of inches, as Goodsir did well to read the pass, swiping at him with his stick. Relentlessly there was Gernhofer, but he missed him as Goodsir works for it in front of the Amarillo bench. Cole Norris gets the puck in himself between 4 Wildcats, gives it off to the left side. Mika drops it off for the trailer, fresh off the bench, hammers a one-timer, it goes just wide, and it caroms into the goal. It went off of a Bulls skate, and what a fortunate bounce that was. The goal will be credited to George Mika. It bounced off his skate after it had gone off the end boards, and a very fortunate bounce for Amarillo finally has them on the board. And they now trail 3-1. Last minute of play is brought to you by La Quinta Inn & Suites, the official host hotel of your Wichita Falls Wildcats. We're just 2 seconds away from second period action concluding here. And the Bulls, perhaps with some new life here, is George Mika has just tallied for Amarillo for his 14th goal of the season and his 36th point. That'll be a tough pill for Julian Syme to swallow, who had been bidding for the shutout up until that goal. Caught maybe a little bit out of position, but let's be honest, it took a very, very fortunate bounce for Amarillo. That will wrap up the first 40 minutes of this game. 3-1 the score in favor of the Wildcats, who outscored the Bulls 2-1 in that period, which was brought to you by American Classifieds. But the Bulls back in this game with that last goal. 14 seconds to go in the second period, and George Mika scored a goal off his skate. By no means was it a kicking motion. They didn't even have to question that at all. It just happened to bounce off the end boards, go off Amika's skate and into the back of the net. So a fortunate bounce for the Bulls, but they'll take it. They're now down by just 2. The Wildcats and the Bulls will both be going to their respective dressing rooms for their second intermission here tonight. We'll be getting some words of advice from their bench bosses here. Meanwhile, here from the KYC, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have your second out-of-town scoreboard update for you. That'll be coming your way and more in just a few minutes. Stay tuned, folks. All right, folks, welcome back inside the confines of the K. Yeager Coliseum here in Wichita Falls, Texas. With you as always, I'm Alex Von Koitel, bringing you another edition of Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing. 2 periods and 40 minutes in the books here at the KYC. 3-1 the score in favor of the Wildcats, who have finally conceded a goal. The Amarillo Bulls have gotten some new life, it looks like. Fortunate bounce after the puck caromed off the end boards and off of George Mika's right skate and into the back of the net. Julian Syme had no idea where the puck was or how it got there, but it ended up in behind him and in the back of the net. So the shutout bid of Julian Syme over after 17 shots were denied by him, and it's a tough way to lose your shutout bid, no doubt, but he'll get over it. The Wildcats with a 3-1 lead after 2 periods of play. Their goals scored by Nikita Litviak on a shorthanded 2-on-0. Garrett Van Wy after redirecting a shot from Alexei Poikala, who stole the puck on the forecheck, and most recently, and most notably perhaps, by Trent Dillinger, the former Amarillo Bull, playing in his first game against his former team, just his 6th game as a Wildcat. And listen to this, folks. Through just 6 games played as a Wildcat, he's already got more goals here than he did through 25 games as an Amarillo Bull. I think it's probably safe to say that Trent Dillinger has found a new home here in Wichita Falls, and he is, without question, bought into the team concept and has gelled better than anyone could have expected him to. That takes us to now about 8.5 minutes removed from third period action. In the meantime, we'll bring you this second period out-of-town scoreboard update. Again, all 4 Eastern Division teams playing tonight. And good news for the Aston Rebels. Not only are they winning their game 4-1, but the New Jersey Titans have been defeated in regulation by the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights, who are trying to claw their way out of the East Division cellar. They're still in 4th place. In all likelihood will remain there, as they are the only real outlier in that division as far as the standings go. They're now 10 points behind the Johnstown Tomahawks. However, the Aston Rebels, it looks like, with the victory and the New Jersey defeat, are just 2 points behind the Titans for first place rights in the East Division. So those top 3 spots in the East will be something to look out for. In the East Division, they've got some talent despite being a new division and despite having a couple of new teams in the Aston Rebels and the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights. They really gave the South Division some troubles at the Top Prospects tournament. It took a shootout. Took 3 rounds in the shootout for the South Division to finally come away victorious. And they put up a much bigger challenge to the South than the Midwest team did. And you can ask John LaFontaine himself what that was like. He coached against Rich McKenna, the head coach of the New Jersey Titans, twice this season. First in a showcase against him when the Wildcats played the New Jersey Titans. Way back on September 26th, it was the first and only game of the showcase the Wildcats lost heartbreakingly in a shootout, which gave the Titans a perfect record in the 2015 showcase and sent the Wildcats home, settling with a 3-0-1 record at the showcase tournament. Both games, Rich McKenna, the New Jersey Titans head coach, and John LaFontaine have coached against one another this season, have gone to a shootout. So perhaps some foreshadowing of what may possibly come in the Robertson Cup playoffs, which the Wildcats just qualified for, have just clinched for the 3rd consecutive season. And that happened last Saturday with a Corpus Christi regulation defeat against the Amarillo Bulls. The Minnesota Magicians in Austin taking on the Bruins. 3-2 the score in favor of Austin through 2 periods of play. The Bismarck Bobcats hosting the Aberdeen Wings with a 1-0 lead over Aberdeen. That game, also 2 periods have gone by. The Corpus Christi Ice Rays and the Odessa Jackalopes all tied up at 1 down at the American Bank Center in beautiful Corpus Christi, Texas. The goals in that game, it looks like, have been scored by Hampus Shodal and Brendan Miller. And it looks like Danny Corrali just put one on the board for Odessa, so they have taken the lead. Power play goal by Danny Corrali, set up by Andy McLean. And I'm sure Wildcats fans are tired of hearing those 2 names. They really did some damage to the Wildcats a few weeks ago out in Odessa in that series, that heartbreaking series, in which the Cats were swept for the second time this season. It's very possible, in fact it's probable, the Wildcats will be playing one of those two teams in the first round of the Robertson Cup playoffs. The two teams playing tonight, the Odessa Jackalopes and the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. And not sure about you folks, but a lot of the players certainly would prefer to play one team over the other overwhelmingly. I believe most of the players would prefer to play Corpus Christi in the first round, given the amount of success the Wildcats have had against them this season. Given the recent misfortunes the Cats have had against Odessa, it would only seem logical, but who knows? Perhaps the Rays have some sort of postseason formula that can give the Wildcats troubles. Postseason is an entirely different animal in hockey, and that's part of what makes this game so beautiful to watch. Brookings Blizzard with a 2-1 lead over the Minot Minotauros, the new team to Max Reisinger, the former Wildcat, who's been held off the score sheet tonight, which is a bit of an anomaly considering the way things have gone for him recently. He has really torn it up since being traded to Minot, which is great to see. The Topeka Roadrunners with a 1-0 lead over the Lone Star Brahmas, which is good news for the Wildcats, hoping to hold on to that first place spot in the South Division. Topeka had its goal scored by Quinn Preston, who was set up by J.B. Baker. 14:35 into period one. The second period looks like has just started a few minutes ago out at the Nitech Sports Center. The Minnesota Wilderness find themselves down by 2 now to the Cooley Region Chill. Matt Duran and Kevin Deneen scoring goals for Cooley Region. Alex Faulkner assisted on Kevin Deneen's last goal. So congratulations to Alex, the former Wildcat, who seems to be doing pretty well in Cooley Region. The Chills still fighting for that fourth and final playoff spot in the Midwest Division. They find themselves trailing the Janesville Jets for that spot by 7 points, and the Jets have one game in hand, so it'll be a tough struggle for the Chill. Kenai River has been eliminated. The Chill can still make that fourth spot in the Midwest Division, but boy, what a tough division that is. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs, who as of right now are the #1 team as far as points are concerned in the North American Hockey League. They've battled the Wildcats all season long for the top record in the league. The Minnesota Wilderness, who won the Robertson Cup last year, also in that division. And then another tough team, the Springfield Junior Blues. And, of course, the Janesville Jets and the Cooley Region Chill, some very competitive teams in that division. So whoever ends up coming out of that division will be a force to be reckoned with. No question about that. They will be battle tested, and they will be hardened. The final 2 rounds of postseason contention. Fairbanks Ice Dogs and the Kenai River Brown Bears, 2 Alaska teams, hosting the Blues and the Jets, respectively. Those games not taking place until 7:30 p.m. Alaska time. Meanwhile, back within the confines of the K. Yeager Castle, just 1 minute and 50 seconds remain before some Wildcats hockey is brought your way. As the Cats have taken the ice once more, sporting their cancer awareness jerseys presented by Whataburger. They have not lost a game in these jerseys yet. They have also not lost a game in this building in 2016. They've got a 3-1 edge over the Amarillo Bulls, hoping to hang on and make it 8 consecutive home victories, which would tie their own record. Wildcats, as it stands now, currently have the league record for consecutive home wins this season with 8. They also have the second best record for home wins this season in a row, with 7, which is what they're on now. 2 separate records, the best 2 streaks, both belong to the Wildcats, which is very impressive. They just love playing in this building, and I think a huge part of that credit has to be given to the fans here at the KYC. And what a fun and friendly atmosphere they create for these players. Makes it really easy to get yourself excited for these games knowing you've got a supportive crowd behind you. Eric Yeager, Johnny Lazarus, Nikita Litviak, Michael Rounds, and Jake Dalton on the ice for the Cats. George Mika, Tyler Gernhofer, Cole Norris, Matt Nels, and Jake Houston on the ice for the Bulls. Third period hockey brought to you by American Classifieds, officially underway here as Litviak carries into the Amarillo zone as it's slapped back out to center ice on a fresh sheet of ice. Now Jake Dalton takes over and will give it away into the neutral zone. Jake Houston gets it in, Rounds. Yeager fell down. Here comes Litviak down the right side. He's on a delayed offside. So the Wildcats regroup in the neutral zone and wait. Lazarus tags up. Mika gave it to Houston. He will wheel it down the left wing side. Takes a hit, took an awkward tumble. He's okay. Gilraith has it now in his own end. Gave it ahead for Andre Paisan. He's got a 2-on-2. Crisscrosses with Lazarus, who's behind him now. Paisan left corner, looking for somewhere to go with it. Played it off of Fromberger's skates. Paisan battling for it along the left corner boards, and finally it's taken by Michael Foreman. Gave it away. Delayed penalty upcoming. I believe it will be against the Wildcats for a slash. Tripping against Wichita Falls. Andre Paisan's going to head to the box. Back to the penalty kill they go. The last power play they faced ended up with the puck in the back of their net. Though it was a very fortunate bounce, the Wildcats did concede a goal. Came off the right skate of George Mika. They're hoping to feed off of that success that they have just recently found on the power play. If they can score here, they're right back in this game, and all the momentum shifts in their favor. Philippe Fromberger leaves the puck in his own zone. Tyler Hall picks it up there and behind his own net. Hall works the puck out to the Wildcats logo. It's Joey Molinaro sidestepping a check beautifully in Poikala. He's got it now right circle. He holds on. Will he go to Hall? No, he got it to the goal line instead. Gilraith wraps up a man down there, and the puck has just been cleared the length of the ice by the Wildcats, who go to the bench for a fire wagon line change. 4 fresh skaters on the ice for the Cats. Tyler Hall. Jeff Baum in behind his own net. Wheels it around the boards, and Van Wy will clear. Baker leaves it there. Jake Houston takes over behind him. Houston will work this puck out. He'll likely skate it in himself, and he does. He puts on the brakes on the left point. Guides it towards the opposite corner. Van Wy tries to chop it out. Held in right wall by George Mika. Given around the end boards for Gernhofer. Now in deep, it's Cole Norris. Norris looks, he's got a man open at the point, finds him, gets the return pass. Norris, goal line, Mika backhander, glove save, Syme. Is Julian Syme's first save of period 3, his 18th stop of the night. Mika to take the face-off now with half a minute remaining on his power play against Eric Yeager, and he wins it from Yeager. Right point, it's Jeff Salau. Walks the line. Houston calling for it, gives it back to Salau. In the high slot, fires a shot, tipped, and they score. Cole Norris got his stick on it. He redirected it past Julian Syme. Another power play goal. That's 2 straight for the Bulls, and they're right back in this one. It's 3-2 Cats. That's Cole Norris's 5th goal as an Amarillo Bull. He has not been with the team very long. He has only played in six games. This is his 7th. Nice little addition to their team here late down the stretch here. Mark Russell flies down the left wing side. Matt Meininger plays it safely behind his own net. Jeff Salau Got it out hoping for Sarnowski. It went past him. Time for Russell. Took a hit there from Singerhouse. Dillinger's pass a bit too far for Lown. Bounces off the end boards and on goal. So fortunately for the Wildcats, that will not be an icing. Instead, they will get an offensive zone draw. So a bit of a fortunate bounce for the Wildcats. 16:24 to go in period 3, and the Bulls have gotten themselves right back in this game. They now trail 3-2. Shots on goal have certainly begun to even out as well. Just 29-20 in favor of the Cats. After one period, it was 18-3, so the Bulls have really picked up their play and their tempo as this game has gone on. Adam Goodsir along the far half boards, and he centered for Bolio. His one-timer was blocked by a Bull standing out in front of him. I think DiBenedetto blocked it and it went out of play. Singerhouse wins the defensive zone faceoff for Amarillo. The Bulls have just iced the puck. Poikola's line there to take this offensive zone faceoff. Michael Fasani drops the puck. Poikola wrapped up right off the draw by Singerhouse. Comes loose, pushed into the slot, taken by Houston. Houston will fire it around the boards, but not out. Kept alive. Poikola centers across the ice for Van Wy, whose one-time bid is blocked by Jake Houston right in front of the net. And here come the Bulls. Van Wy's got it far corner. Gave it in behind the net. Jeff Baum takes a look. Sidesteps Michael Foreman, got it out to neutral ice. Houston intercepting. Baum back on it. Gave it off the half boards, a bit too far for Ryan Burnett. The Bulls onside now. Good play there made by Houston. Now Santoro tries to give it across, slapped out of there, but not out. Held in Houston. Right point, skates into the slot and fires. Ricocheted off a couple of bodies and wide. Santoro has it. Stick pops in the air. I believe that's Poikola's. He's still working for that puck regardless. Santoro and DiBenedetto outnumbering the Wildcats down there. Sipis banks it around the boards. Van Wy has it. He will skate it down the left wing. Ran into a Matt Nels. Poikola, meanwhile, gave it across for Baum. Wildcats change on the fly. Baum skates it behind the Amarillo goal line. He's pinned up by the other number 16, Philippe Fromberger. Litviak picks it up, left corner, will swing it back to the point. Dalton's long shot blocked. Litviak shoots, fought off by the goaltender, Brian Baker. His biggest save of the period. One-timer Litviak, his shot was blocked by Fromberger. Puck rolls loose and it's taken and cleared by the Bulls. Michael Rounds back on it in the neutral zone. Rounds finds Litviak. Litviak put it a bit too far for Eric Yeager. Yeager pushed it to the goal line. Burnett back to the slot. And Rounds couldn't control it there, so he has to reset in the neutral zone now with Dalton. Michael Rounds threw it into the opposite corner. Phil Fromberger back to play it. George Mika rattles it off the glass, and it's taken by Cole Norris, the most recent goal scorer in this game. Norris for Tyler Hall. Loves to skate the puck in as the defenseman. He does it again. Fires it off the Wildcats' end boards. It's taken by the other number 7, Ben Lown. Now it's Jake Dalton protecting that puck with one hand on his stick. He dumps it into the Bull zone. Albrecht from the side of the net tried to center for Lown, who's in a bit too tight there. Lown will try to work it back to the point. No, he spins with it. He's got Dillinger in front. Dillinger one times at side of the net. Stuff attempt from Albrecht, smothered up at the goal line by Brian Baker, who's made another save this period, and he keeps his team within one. 13.5 to go in period 3. 3-2 the score in favor of the Wildcats. The last 2 goals have been scored, however, by the Amarillo Bulls, who have cut the Cats' lead to just 1. They have clawed their way back into this game and are now just 1 shot away from leveling the score. The former Amarillo Bull, Trent Dillinger, is just looks like he's being kicked from the face-off circle, so Ben Lown will take his place. He wins the draw. Put it off of Dillinger's stick, went out in front of the net, and Ferguson played it ahead, and here comes Singerhouse. That's Molinaro, rather. Couldn't dance past Gilraith. Russell had a blowout. He was pushed into the corner boards by Singerhouse. As the puck comes loose in front, Molinaro with a steal. He shoots. What a save by Julian Syme. Molinaro looks skyward. He couldn't believe it. Syme just robbed him on a point-blank try. I'm getting a few stick taps on the pads for that save, and deservedly so. Joey Molinaro's got it for our corner. Nudged off the puck there by Paisan, who tries to Beaulieu. Beaulieu's got it in the slot. He's open. He shoots. He scores! Austin Beaulieu, 4-2 Cats. The defensive breakdown in the Amarillo end. The defenseman who was back there was Jeff Salau. He lost his stick, and the Wildcats took advantage. And Austin Beaulieu's got his 15th goal of the season. Wildcats have just cleared the puck all the way down the ice. Matt Nels and Ryan Burnett converge down there. Burnett wins the loose puck and then had his pocket picked by Nels. Now it's Houston wrapped up by Van Wy, given out to the far point Dalton. Tried to give it to Poikala. He was pushed off the puck before he could get it. Rounds resets in his own zone. Jake Dalton fires it into the opposite corner. Matt Nels in behind his own goal to pick it up. Nels got it around the wall for Jacob Nitschke. Nitschke is outnumbered 2-1 by Poikala and Ryan Burnett. Poikala couldn't get it back to Dalton at the right point, so here come the Bulls. Singerhouse chipped it, tried to get it to himself, instead got it to Sarnowski, who hustles after it. Comes loose, Singerhouse in on the forecheck is run into by Dalton, and they're going to go. Nitschke went straight after Dalton after that hit. Dalton was going to get a penalty, and now Dalton's got to defend himself as Nitschke went straight after him. Ryan Burnett didn't like that one bit, so he stepped into the fray there to muddle things up, and we're going to see what's going to come of this. That was not proper protocol there by Jacob Nitschke. If you're going to fight somebody and throw your gloves to the ice like that, you better make sure that they're prepared and that they're on board as well, because Dalton was not. And I'm not sure why, folks, but Dalton's going to skate off the ice. His night is over, as is Nitschke's. I'm not sure what choice Dalton had there. Nitschke went straight after him. It was going to be a penalty on Jake Dalton. That will certainly still stand, but Jacob Nitschke did not abide by proper protocol initiating that fight. He went straight after Dalton before he even had a chance to defend himself or to drop the mitts himself. Nitschke was already landing blows on Dalton's face. So the Amarillo captain, Joe DiBenedetto, now over there with Bernard Altner and Michael Fasani, two of the officials here tonight. No representative from the Wildcats has made his way over there just yet, and LaFontaine will likely send somebody here soon. Perhaps he will just await the decision from Bernard Altner here. Altner and Fasani each skating their way to the Wildcats bench. LaFontaine is down there. He's being told what the calls will be here. Without question, there will be a penalty against Jake Dalton for the initial hit. Altner's arm was in the air. But what Nitschke did in retaliation, that was a purely retaliatory penalty by Jacob Nitschke. Be pretty surprised if there's not something extra for that. As it reads right now on the Jumbotron, Jake Dalton's penalty is the only one listed up there. So I believe what will happen is both teams will have to send a player to sit out for the fights. No, Ryan Burnett will just be sitting for Jake Dalton's penalty. The Wildcats go back to the Parkway Grill penalty kill. They've been scored on the last 2 attempts. It has not been a good night for the PK unit for the Wildcats. The Bulls are 2 for 3 on the man advantage here this evening. There is nothing extra for the fights, but Nitchie and Dalton have both been ejected from this game as Houston's long shot is fought off by Julian Syme. Play resumes here. The Bulls go back to work on the man advantage, hoping to come through for the 3rd straight time on the power play. If they can, they're right back in this thing as Houston hangs on, does a head fake, and sends it into the middle there for Mika. Not sure I'm entirely in agreement with the call on that last scuffle, folks, because that was not the right way to start a fight. There has to be agreement from both parties. And it did not look to me like Dalton wanted to fight. It looked like he was just defending himself. The Wildcats change on the fly. 4 fresh skaters on the ice. The Bulls with 3 of their 5 just off the bench as well. Houston is offside. Already 1 minute has been killed on this Parkway Grill penalty kill for the Wildcats. Ryan Burnett serving Jake Dalton's 2-minute minor for checking from behind or boarding or whatever the call was on that play. Looks like boarding was the call. Wildcats without one of their defensemen, the Bulls without one of their forwards for the remaining 10.5 minutes of this game or so. Bulio tries to center for Yeager, went off of a Bulls stick. Good defensive play made there by Phil Fromberger with some damage control. Every Bulls power play tonight, there has been a goal. The first power play the Bulls had resulted in a Wildcats goal. The next 2 resulted in Amarillo goals. Phil Fromberger at the left point, long shot, stopped by Syme, rebound, pushed out to the high slot, but not out. Held in, Sipus goes down, he can't clear. Good keep there by Liam Ferguson. Now pushed ahead for Mikita Shiptitsky. The puck is stolen from him and cleared by Jeff Baum. That's going to just about do it. 2 seconds and 1. Finally, an Amarillo power play ends anticlimactically for the first time tonight. Wrong point shot by Foreman, steered aside by Syme, taken by Austin Albrecht. Albrecht tries to sidestep Santoro, no luck with that, but the puck trickles out to neutral ice regardless as Meininger resets and gives it across the ice for Houston. Houston tries to spring Foreman, hops off his stick, a bit too hot to handle. Now here comes Albrecht. Albrecht skated over the line backwards. He was on a delayed offside. He tagged up and play resumes. Here's Joe DiBenedetto, meanwhile, on a 3-on-2 rush for the Bulls. He dumps it past Michael Rounds, who has to hustle back. Gilraith in his stead, wipes it around the boards. Taken by Santoro now. Santoro for the Bulls, tries to get it back to the point. Good steal by Lown. Houston is caught. The Cats have a 3-on-1 rush. It is Lown down the right side. Albrecht and Gilraith to the goal. Albrecht couldn't handle the pass from Lown as it pops into the near corner. And he will kick it to his stick. Tries to get it back up the boards, and he does, but it goes all the way to center. Rourke Russell gave it to Ben Lown, who was calling for it. He's called on an offside, and boy, the fans not liking that call. And Ben Lown doesn't like it either. 8:48 to go in period 3. 4-2 the score in favor of the Wildcats. 32-24 the shots on goal. For the first time tonight, an Amarillo power play has ended without a goal being scored by either team. Looks like we're going to our third period media timeout. Play resumes here with just under 9 minutes remaining. The Wildcats protecting a 2-goal lead as Baum shoots the puck off of Litviak, sticking into the offensive zone. Litviak off the half boards, takes the shot, pad save, kicked out again by Baker. Cleared out to the right point, held in Baum. Russell wants it, Baum shoots it, goes wide and high, hit the glass and behind the net. Russell scales it down the boards, bit too far for Lazarus, taken by Litviak behind the net now. It's taken by Lazarus and sent back to the left point. Long shot, tipped wide by Yeager, corralled by Lazarus. Lazarus back to the right point again. It's Russell walking the line, returning. Lazarus back for Russell, tipped on goal, stopped, rebound. Baker saves it again on Litviak on a point-blank shot. Yeager pushed off the puck by Charlie Singerhouse in behind the Bulls net. Comes loose for Jake Houston. Offensive-minded defenseman got it around his own end boards for Singerhouse. Now it's Sarnowski, and he will wheel the puck ahead. Ran into some traffic in the form of Rourke Russell, and the Miami of Ohio commit turned it over. Joey Molinaro tries to stick handle his way through a few Wildcats, and he shoots and scores. Joey Molinaro picked up the loose puck. He lost it at first, regained possession, and rifled it high on the glove side of Julian Syme. The Bulls are right back in this one again. It's 4-3. What a season Joey Molinaro has had for the Amarillo Bulls. Their leading scorer all season long, his 16th goal of the year. Bolio gave it to Paisan from the goal line. His shot was fought off by Baker. 4-3 the score with 7:20 to go in period 3. Rounds gave it off the sideboards. Bolio put it over the line for Goodsir. Cypus pinches. Bolio recovers in the high slot, does a nice toe drag. Goodsir looks, tries to center for Bolio, went off of Bull's skate. Back into the slot, Van Wy one times it wide on the short side. Hall gives it back around the near half wall. Gernhofer spins it ahead nicely for George Mika. Mika will slice his way through center ice and float the puck into the left corner. Noah Gilraith is back there to give it to Rounds. Rounds for Goodsir. Goodsir dumps the puck in. It goes off the glass and in behind the Amarillo net. Toro takes a hit there from Garrett Van Wy along the half wall. Alexi Poikala sauces the puck in the direction of Noah Gilraith. Gilraith sidesteps Phil Fromberger. Van Wy far half boards, tried to pass it back to Baum. Poikala intercepted it incidentally, takes the shot, glove saved by Brian Baker. For his 31st stop of the night. He is now 31 for 35. 6:16 to go in period 3, 4-3 the score in favor of the Cats. Bulls credit, they have not gone away. They have been hanging around in this game as Gilraith hammers a one-timer that was blocked. Gilraith gets back on it, shoots, and a blocker save is made by Baker, and he had to pounce on it, but he covers. Dillinger wins the faceoff. Baum has to jump in. Albrecht picks up the loose puck. It's swiped at by Mika. Albrecht did well to protect it. Turns one off the side of the net. Didn't miss by much. Lown has it far circle. Protects the puck beautifully. Plays it towards the goal line there, and it's Trent Dillinger. Dillinger's tied up. He's handcuffed by Fromberger, who won it from him. Now Gernhofer, or Mika rather, gets it to Gernhofer and gets it right back. Mika for Gernhofer is offside, so the whistle blows. Gernhofer, the only player remaining on this Amarillo squad who was a part of their 2013 Robertson Cup championship run. He actually spent quite a bit of time playing Division I college hockey at the University of Vermont. where he was sent back down to the Amarillo Bulls organization for some conditioning. Tyler Hall picks up the puck. He skates with it behind his own net. Hall spins. Don't think he saw Lazarus there. He manages to elude him. Singerhouse can't clear. It's jabbed at by Yeager. Loose puck taken Singerhouse. And finally, the Bulls managed to work it out to center. Sheptitsky for Hall. Gave it away. Not having a very good shift. Singerhouse finally clears the puck deep into Wichita Falls territory, and the Bulls change on the fly. 4:45 to go now in period 3. 4-3 the score in favor of the Wildcats. Paisan dances with the puck along the blue line. Manages to get it deep. The Bulls reset in their own zone. Paisan takes a hit. The puck cleared out to center. Joe DiBenedetto tips it further. Nick Santoro in on the forecheck. Tries to wedge it loose. Gets it around Rounds. Bullio fans in the clearing attempt. Foreman now. Right corner in the Wildcat zone. Put it back in behind the net. Joe DiBenedetto pushed off of it by Gilraith. Goodsir goes down, courtesy of Santoro, and the Cats end up with it. They skate it through center. They could have a rush here. Bullio down the right side is onside. Couldn't get it to Paisan. He was wrapped up by Matt Meininger. Now Joe DiBenedetto takes him. Long shot from the right half boards is off target. Baum spins one towards the net, picked off by Foreman and taken by Matt Meininger. Foreman recovers in behind his own goal. With time slowly winding down in this game, just 3:50 to go in the period. The Wildcats protecting a delicate one-goal lead. Matt Meininger, the former Jackalope, skates it down the left side in the neutral zone, rattles it around the glass and in behind the Wildcats net. Jeff Baum working for it, gets it up the wall for Ryan Burnett. Poikila finding the speedy Garrett Van Wy through center. Van Wy had the puck swiped off of his stick by Phil Fromberger, who gets it now. Poikila steals it from him again. Poikila back to the point. Baum takes the shot, flutters wide, taken by Van Wy, who centers, but nobody's there. Ferguson takes a hit there from Poikila. He has just made his presence known on just about every shift tonight, it seems like. Zach Sarnowski tips the puck into the offensive zone. Rourke Russell back in behind his own net to get it. Austin Albrecht has it with less than 3 minutes remaining in this game, unless the Bulls can tie it. 4-3 the score in favor of the Cats. Jeff Salau played it around his own end boards. Ben Lown takes it behind the Amarillo net, working with the puck on his backhand. Centers, too hot to handle there for Trent Dillinger. Skating it down the right boards there was Demontis Sipus. He played it around the net. Centering attempt, Dillinger's shot blocked by a skate. Sipus' follow-up try rolls towards the goal, and it's picked off and taken by Zach Sarnowski. He will wheel the puck ahead, nearing the end of his shift. Tries to blast one on target. It was blocked by Rourke Russell. 2:16 now to go in period 3. The Wildcats really keeping the Bulls on their heels here late in period 3. Lowndes spins every which way with it. Finally gets it in deep to the goal line for Eric Yeager. He's pinned up by Tyler Hall. George Mika double teaming Yeager with Hall. Mika ends up with it. Got it out to the right side. Manages to clear just over the blue line, but no further. Noah Gilraith got it back in. Tyler Hall ahead, too far for Singerhouse, picked off by Litviak. Litviak got it into the Amarillo zone. Jake Houston on the intercept. A couple of head fakes. Gilraith read the pass to Singerhouse. Houston's back on it. He will slice his way through center, dumps the puck in. Houston shot one from the goal line, went off the post and all the way back to the left point. Singerhouse tries to put it towards the line again. It's picked off and cleared out to the right side. Yeager got it ahead for Litviak. Litviak powers his way towards the net. He's hooked down to the ice. No penalty upcoming. 1:18 to go in the period. Houston working for it. Gets it up the wall. Bulls dump the puck wide of the net. Taken by Gilraith and behind his own goal. Rounds. There's not been a whistle in 3 minutes here. The last minute of play is brought to you by La Quinta Inn & Suites, the official host hotel of your Wichita Falls Wildcats, and the Bulls really need to get a shot on goal here. Brian Baker looking to the bench. Not sure if he's even going to go there for a sixth attacker here. The Wildcats are trying to eat up some time. Finally, he goes there. 6 attackers on the ice for the Amarillo Bulls. Cole Norris is the 6th man out there. Salau leads the rush the other way. 25 seconds to go in the period. Salau gets it behind the Cats' net. Santoro goes around the boards with it. Paisan with a chance to clear it. He does towards the empty net. He scores! Andre Paisan scores from his own zone. A backhand shot from 150 feet. And he has iced the game for the Wildcats, and he has sealed the Bulls' fate. It's 5-3. It's Paisan's 8th goal, and it's a beauty, folks. Last face-off. Poikala wins it. 2 seconds and 1, and that's going to wrap things up. The Wildcats have just won their 8th straight game at the K. Yeager Coliseum. And they have tied their own record in the North American Hockey League this season with 8 consecutive wins. And a huge night for Julian Simon, the Wildcats. They skate off to a 5-3 win over the Amarillo Bulls. We're going to take a short break here from the KYC. We're going to await the 3-star selection provided by Kona Ice. Charles Campbell will make the announcement. After which I'll be back here with you shortly to wrap up this game, give you one last out-of-town scoreboard update, and let you be on your way. Stay tuned, folks. Star selection brought to you by Kona Ice has just been announced here at the KYC by the public address announcer Charles Campbell. The third star of tonight's game, Alexei Poikla, was all over the ice, had an assist on that goal scored by Garrett Van Wy. He set him up perfectly after stealing the puck in the offensive zone. Just a beautiful play by Alexei Poikla, and very well deserved. The Kona Ice third star of the game. He was also really playing the body tonight, laying some big hits and playing physical as he's grown accustomed to since moving here from Finland over the offseason. Andre Paisan is tonight's second star of the game. He had that empty net goal from 150 feet in which he backhanded the puck the length of the ice. What an accurate display of confidence there. Andre Paisan knew if he missed the net, it would have been icing and a defensive zone draw against the Wildcats. But just a tremendous, tremendous shot from his own zone. And folks, that is so much harder than it looks, I'll tell you right now. To score on an empty net from that far out when you're under that sort of pressure, it's a very difficult task. And Andre Paisan hit the bullseye. Also tallied an assist as well, so he is tonight's second star of the game. The first star of tonight's game, guess who? The former Amarillo Bull, Trent Dillinger, playing in his first game ever against his former team, the Amarillo Bulls. He was there for 2.5 seasons, was a really integral part of their franchise, and since coming to Wichita Falls, has been an equally integral part of this franchise. He had a goal in tonight's game on the power play, finally got the Cats power play going. In his very first game against his former team, scored a goal against them, so that's got to feel good. Trent Dillinger is tonight's Kona Ice first star of the game. I'll give you a quick out-of-town scoreboard update from the South Division, the really significant teams at this point of the season for the Wildcats. The Lone Star Brahmas have tied the game at home against the Topeka Roadrunners, so the Wildcats are hoping Topeka can come back. Martin Melberg was set up by his fellow Swede Johan Lundgren for a second period goal with 14:44 into the second period. So that game is tied 1-1. The Corpus Christi Ice Rays and Odessa Jackalopes are all deadlocked as well. That game tied 2-2 at the American Bank Center down in Corpus Christi. About 13 minutes remaining in that one. As for this game, 5-3 the final in favor of the Wildcats. They got off to a 3-0 head start on the Amarillo Bulls, who fought and clawed their way back into the game. They never gave up. You got to give them credit for hanging around. They really didn't have the nail put in their coffin until Andre Paisan's goal, which came extremely late with it was just seconds left in the third period, where Andre Paisan just backhanded the puck all the way down the ice. There were only 22 seconds left, so until that point, the Bulls were in this game. So got to give them credit for fighting hard despite their season virtually at its end here. And they have certainly not had the wind taken out of their sails just yet. They're still playing hard, and they're still a force to be reckoned with. Give the Bulls credit, but the Wildcats come away with the win. 5-3, 8 consecutive wins here at the KYC, and that ties the league record, which is their own record. So they've now they've got the best 2 winning streaks in the North American Hockey League this season on home ice. Earlier this season, to start the campaign, they won 8 straight, and they have just won 8 straight again. So very impressive stuff. They love playing here, the Wildcats do, in front of their home crowd, who is always very appreciative and very fun to play in front of. So another big win for the Wildcats. They improve to 35-9-4 and extend their lead in the South Division over the Lone Star Brahmas from 5 points to 7. We'll be sure to keep you updated tomorrow as to whether the Brahmas can cut that back to 5 points. But the Cats do have a game in hand. The Brahmas have only played, the Wildcats have only played in 48 games. The Brahmas now playing in their 49th, so a little bit more room to add points at the end there for the Cats. But regardless, it'll be a race to follow in the South Division for that first place spot, that very heavily envied first place spot, because nobody wants to play Topeka in the first round. That's going to wrap things up from the KYC, folks. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We know you enjoyed the outcome. One last time, the Wildcats with 5, the Amarillo Bulls with 3. On behalf of the Wichita Falls Wildcats, I'm Alex Von Coydle, again saying thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate all the support that you give us, and have a blessed and happy Friday night. We hope, if you can't make it to the KYC tomorrow for $5 ticket night in the Cancer jersey auction from the guest services table and then the third period tomorrow night, if you can't make it, we hope you join us again, as always, on YouTube or on fasthockey.com. Until then, so long, everyone.